Hello Rebels and welcome back to my life. So I'm making this video because a friend of a friend is going through something that I feel pretty strongly about and think maybe I have some answers to that might be useful. So what's the real purpose in your life? What's the big why behind it all? What put you here in this time in human history for, let's say, the next 60 years? Some people already have an answer to that question, and some people don't have some purpose that they consider grand and they're fine with that. They want to be doctors or shopkeepers or teachers or parents, and that's the only thing that they want out of their life. Which is great because lives like that are infinitely valuable and none of us would exist without them. People like that are the reason that shops exist where we can buy food and why all of human society continues to function. Everything else is just spice, and I enjoy spice on my food, but if I had the spice but not the food, I would die, and human society works the same way. But there are people, and I am one of them, who want to be the spice. It does not feel like enough to go through our whole lives working 9-to-5 jobs. It does not feel like enough to have an average existence, whatever we think average means. But trying to create something more than an average life is exhausting, and I would know for the last 3 years prior to September of this year, I was trying to make my life into something more than average, and I almost gave up many times. The only reason that I kept going was because I wanted to believe that there was something more to my life, and that I could turn it into something more than what I thought of as average. I would hear from friends about their jobs and their bosses and their mortgages and their car payments, and I would get this sick twisting feeling in my gut that I might be pulled into that kind of life. Not because it's wrong, but because I knew it was wrong for me. And if you're facing a similar situation in life, I'm not going to pretend that I have all of the answers, the big solution to it all, but I can tell you the answer that I found that worked for me. This might be kind of a crappy thing to hear, but the universe does not exist to give you or I purpose. In fact, I've never seen any hard evidence that purpose is an inherent component of the physical universe in which we happen to find ourselves. Purpose comes from us, from human beings. Only the human mind even conceives of purpose or lack of purpose, and only we can create purpose within ourselves and for ourselves. But at the same time, we need to live, we need to eat, and in order to do that, we often find ourselves doing things that don't seem very purposeful. Starbucks has some cool things going for it as a company, and a lot of people like working there, but let's face it, if you are a barista there, you probably don't feel like you're serving some higher calling. Maybe you do, I don't know. That's fine. Not everything in your life will fulfill what you consider to be some great purpose. In fact, most things that you do won't. But if you want something more out of your life, if you want to feel like you are doing something more important than just living, you are going to have to create that. To do that, you have to decide that that sense of fulfillment that you crave is worth the incredible amount of effort you're going to have to put into it. You're going to have to spend a lot of time that could otherwise be spent relaxing with a loved one or watching Netflix. And instead, you're going to have to bang away at the keyboard or the camera or the drawing tablet and create your own sense of purpose from the ground up. This isn't to say that you should never relax or watch a movie. Those are valuable things, but you are going to have to spend a lot of time to get to where you want to go. Now, I am a white male living in America with a private school education and a decent, if not great, family safety net to fall back on if I had to, and it still took me 3 years of being constantly broke and in a state of anxiety about my future to get to where I wanted to go. If you have less societal privilege than me in any way, it could take you even longer to get there, and I certainly hope that it doesn't, but it probably will. Now that I've finally broken through into this weird other side where I find myself, I have one overriding priority, and that is to maintain it, to keep it there, because now that I've reached it, it was so worth all of those years. But for someone who's still on that road, you might feel like the universe and society in general kind of wants you to fail at it, does not want you to find that sense of purpose or give it to you. And there might actually be people in your life who work against you or just don't have your best interests at heart, but those things aside, there is some bleak encouragement in the fact that the universe and human society in particular don't actually care about your goals at all. They don't want you to succeed, they don't want you to fail. They just don't care. You are a non-entity to them. So if you're lamenting a lack of a higher purpose in your day-to-day life, the sad report that I have is that society is not going to do anything special to give it to you. You have to choose to take the hours between work and sleep, and even some of the hours you were planning on using for sleep, and use those hours to find out what you want to do and keep doing it and work your ass off to achieve it. And if you want that to become the thing that you do, then you're going to have to just keep working your ass off until that thing that you love provides the basic necessities of your life. And you can get there, you can achieve it, it's just society has no vested interest in helping you do it. And if you've been doing that and you've been doing it for a long time and it just doesn't seem to be working, you might be doing it the wrong way, and so you might need to educate yourself on a way to do it more effectively, but that's a subject for another video. Thank you for watching, Rebels. As always, an extra special shout out to my supporters on Patreon who make my YouTube channel possible. I will see you tomorrow. Bye!